Clutch, dominant, entertainer, MVP. These aren't just buzzwords, they define Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 2025 season. The Canadian superstar didn't just level up this year, he took over. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander turned every night into a masterclass and made one thing abundantly clear. It's 2025 and he's your favorite player. The superstar label gets shared around a bit too liberally these days, but there's no doubt that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the current king of the prestigious tier. His 6,873 points scored over the last 3 seasons are comfortably clear of the rest of the NBA, leading Giannis's 6,200 in second place. He's been one of the best for a while, but in 2024-25, he took the top spot for himself. Before we treat ourselves to that highlight reel though, let's dig into how Shai got here. As you might remember, he began his career as an exciting young rookie with the Clippers. He impressed enough to play a league-leading 82 games that season, edging his way into double-digit points with 10.8 per game. It was a promising start, and Shai was probably thanking his lucky stars he'd landed in LA, with the team logging their 7th playoff berth in 8 seasons. The only problem was that it had been 5 years since the Clippers had made it beyond the first round, and Gilgeous-Alexander was seen as the expendable, high-value item that could bring back a superstar to get the team over the edge. In came Paul George, and out went SGA, heading to an Oklahoma City Thunder team that would post win percentages around the 300 mark in 3 of the next 2 seasons. Add in a tough plantar fascia tear in 2021 and a tanking team around him, and it's fair to say that things had taken a downward spiral. But you have to throw more at SGA to keep him down, and the resurgence was a sight to behold. 31 points per game in 2022-23 hinted at stardom, earning him his first All-NBA first-team selection, which was promptly followed by another 1 year later, with another 30 points per game season in 2023-24. It wasn't just point scoring that Shai had improved though, also seeing his rebounds tick up to 5.5, his assists to 6.2, and his steals to a career-high 2 per game. This was a new look Shai, and a new look Oklahoma team, making it to the playoffs for the first time in 4 seasons, and beyond the first round for the first time in 8. Unfortunately, the Mavericks proved too much for the Thunder in the Western Conference semifinals, but Gilgeous-Alexander couldn't have done much more, averaging 32.2 points throughout the series and scoring a playoff career-high 36 in Game 6. The Oklahoma City Thunder were heading home, but fans had a newfound sense of belief that exciting things could be right around the corner. How right they were. The 2025 season opener was a tone setter for both SGA and the Thunder. 28 points for Shai were accompanied by 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals as the Denver Nuggets were downed, 102 points to 87. That's what we call emphatic, with Gilgeous-Alexander bossing every single inch of the court. A few days later, it was time for his first double-double, with another all-round spectacular display. 35 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 blocks, and 3 steals tell the story of a player who was absolutely everywhere on the night, cooking the Atlanta Hawks with ease in the 128-104 pounding. When we talk about this being a tone-setting month, we aren't exaggerating. Gilgeous-Alexander posted just a single game with under 20 points throughout the entire 2024-25 regular season. And if you're after defensive highlights as well, you'll find plenty of them in his highlight reel. Gilgeous-Alexander is a true menace at both ends of the court, often coming up big with blocks, whilst also ranking top 5 in steals. The 6'6" point guard has no problems creating open shots for himself to take, but even when working through traffic, he has an uncanny knack for still finding the bucket. The creativity in the paint is next level. Nobody took more shots than Gilgeous-Alexander throughout the 2024-25 season, with 21.8 attempts per game, which makes his 51.9% field goal percentage even more impressive. As you'd expect, this offensive prowess produced a few eruption games for Shai. In November, his 45 points and 9 rebounds against his old team, the LA Clippers, edged the Thunder to a thrilling 134-128 victory, which prevented them from losing their 3rd game from the last 4. He shot a crazy 62% from the field that game, dazzling the crowd with his impressive body control in traffic and showing off his clutch genes when firing in a three-pointer in the final 2 minutes. Games like that one became a regular occurrence, but he reserved his best for when the calendar ticked over into 2025. At 27-5 on the 1st of January, there was little doubt the Thunder were heading for the playoffs, but the top spot in the conference was a very valuable prize to aim for, so there was no let-up from the team's star player. With MVP buzz already circling, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took things up a notch in late January, landing 54 points on the Jazz before erupting in another 52-point outing a few days later against the Golden State Warriors. Then, a week after that, he made it 3 50-point performances on the season with 50 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, and 2 steals in a 140-109 hammering of the Phoenix Suns. That win took the Thunder to a 40-9 record, putting them in a very strong position to earn the all-important 1 seed, and with SGA doing so much of the heavy lifting, there weren't many people who weren't already awarding him the MVP. That's not to diminish the rest of the OKC team, of course. A whopping 7 Thunder players averaged double-digit points on the season, which is a testament to how much SGA's presence opens things up for everyone around him. Then, you have Lou Dort standing out as one of the league's best defensive players, meaning it was no surprise to see OKC dominate a competitive Western Conference. It was a loaded roster for sure, but what SGA was offering at both ends of the court was just next level. You'll find him guarding the opposition's best perimeter player in key moments, setting the tone with timely steals and blocks, before racing up to the other end of the court, darting into the paint, and finding the bucket with the unlikeliest of layups. The guy was a walking highlight reel, wowing fans with signature moments, like his diving shot against Indiana or his lethal ankle breaker on Chris Livingston of the Bucks. He's the undeniable driving force behind this outfit, becoming a top 5 point scoring offense over the previous few seasons, frequently breaking down the NBA's best defenses and creating open shots for his teammates. The depth of point scoring ability on the team, combined with Shai's creativity, made them just too hot to handle, and their MVP frontrunner was the ultimate leader. He put a stamp on his bid for the prestigious MVP award with his unbelievable 4th 50-plus point outing of the season against the Rockets in March. 137 points to 128 tells the story of a high-octane game of top-tier offense, and it was Shai who came out on top. A 42-point explosion against the Lakers in the regular season finale then closed out the season in style, securing a 68-14 record for the Thunder, which goes down as their greatest in franchise history. They have their main man, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to thank for that, who secured some historical achievements of his own in leading the team to the top seed in the West. Primarily, that 42-point outing against the Lakers extended his streak of 20-plus point games to a whopping 72, which is an NBA record. The previous holder of that record was the legendary Michael Jordan, who had a 69-game streak of his own. In doing so, Shai posted a career-high 32.7 points per game, which led the NBA and made him just the 6th player ever to post 3 consecutive seasons over 30 points per game. An NBA All-Star selection was always going to be the floor for such an epic season, with MVP and All-NBA first-team honors surely arriving very soon. But this isn't about individual accolades for Gilgeous-Alexander. He has helped elevate the Thunder from a dismal 24-58 record in 2021-22 to a franchise-altering 68-win season just 3 years later. And after propelling the team to their first Western Conference semifinals in 8 seasons in 2024, Shai's eyes were firmly set on going one step further in 2025. The superstar label is earned by how you convert regular season success into playoff success, and Shai hasn't skipped a beat so far in the 2025 playoffs. He only needed to play 23 minutes in a Game 1 hammering, but logged 27, 31, and 38 points in the 3 games since, turning it on in Game 4 to ensure the series went no further. He shot 54% from the field and converted 11 of his 13 free throws, constantly working his way into the paint and making something out of nothing. It was a heroic performance, helping down the battling Memphis Grizzlies by 117 points to 115, affording his teammates a well-earned rest before the Western Conference semifinals. The Oklahoma City Thunder were locked into the top seed for a good chunk of the season, but there was no sign of complacency at any point. And for Shai to continue his MVP-level form into the playoffs is the true mark of a superstar. The Thunder and SGA gained valuable experience from the 2024 edition of the playoffs, and they couldn't have looked more primed and ready for the occasion in their 4-game hammering of the Grizzlies. They showed championship caliber grit in Game 3, storming back from a 29-point deficit, yes, 29, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander putting the team on his back and orchestrating an electrifying 114-108 comeback victory that sent shockwaves through the series. For Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, regardless of what happens throughout the rest of the playoffs, this has been a career-defining season. He has elevated his game from underrated star to undeniable superstar and leader of a title-contending team. His records this season have etched his name in the history books alongside the likes of Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Harden, and more. At just 26 years old, he still has plenty left in the tank. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't just leading the Thunder, he's redefining what a franchise player looks like. If this is just the beginning, the rest of the NBA better be ready.